Give me one second. You can hear me, right? See me also?
Yes, to both.
Everybody can see the PowerPoint also, right?
Yeah.
My throat is not that much good. I hope everybody can hear me. Okay, let's start the class. Start with the prayer. Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from your God, Goddess, and all your gurus. Once you feel you are done, slowly open your eyes. As usual, we are going with the 3 parts. First section about the co-child. Give me a second, give me a second. Sorry for that. Okay. As usual, we are going with the 3 section. First, we are dealing with the Gocharam. Second, our class lesson. And third, we are discussing about one horoscope. Okay. Today's Gochar. Guru in the Mithuna, Ketu in the Simha, Chandra in the Kanya, Surya, Buddha, Shukra in the Vrakshaka, Mangal in the Dhanur, Ragu in the Kumbha, Shani in the Veena. Okay. So all the time we have to concentrate on the 3, at least 2 steps. First step is where the Chandra is. Second step, where are the yearly planets? So more or less, we altogether we remember wherever the yearly planets are. Guru, Rahu, Ketu, Sani. We definitely have to be remember all the time. Okay. So the first thing is Chandra. Second thing is the yearly grahas, and third one is where will be your where is my cursor? Yeah. Sun, the Surya. Okay, now it was in the Vrikshiga. So it is soon it is going to be the Dhanurmal. Most of the time, uh, the month name is also named by the Rashi of the based on any one of the 12 Rashis. When the sun is moved into the Dhanur Rashi, the people will say it is a Dhanur month. Okay. Now let's these 3 things we have to remember all the time. One is where is the I hope everybody can remember now. One, where is the Chandra? Okay, where is that is enough? When we see the Gocharam where the Chandra is that enough? No. You have to remember your birth chart also where is your Chandra is. Okay. Then you have to remember in the Gocharam where is the Chandra. So suppose imagine a situation. I have the Tula Lagna. Now any one person who's having the Tula Lagna. Now, in the Gocharam, Chandra is over the 12th house of the Jataka. You remember that one, right? You understand this one point. If any Jataka's Lagna is a Tula Lagna, now in the Gocharam, I should not place the this. Give me a second. Now, anyone Jataka was the Tula Lagna. Now, if the Tula Lagna, then now the Kochara Chandra was in the Kanya. So that means Chandra was here. How you can see this? For this Tula Lagna Jataka, Kochara Chandra is over the 12th house. So you have to remember whatever the grahas here, the Chandra is overlooking that. Okay, you have to remember that one. So there are three things you have to remember on the Kocharam. First thing is the Chandra, where the Chandra is, then the yearly planets, wherever they are, and the third one is the Surya. So is that enough? No. Once you understand the Gochara Graha, you have to imbibe with your compare against with your birth chart. Like how we did for the Chandra, the same goes for the yearly Grahas also. Now in the Gocharam, Guru is in the Mithuna Rasi. So if I imagine this Jataka was having the Ragu in the Mithuna, that means Guru over Ragu. That means the ninth house of the Tula Lagna Jataka. Guru is on the Kocharam. You have to remember that one. Okay, now we'll see one more example also. Imagine you have the Jupiter in the Meena for this Jataka. So that means in the Kocharam, Meena Rasi is having the Sunny, and in your birth chart you having the Jupiter means Sunny over your Jupiter. In other words, Sunny over your sixth house in which Jupiter is posited. Okay, you have to remember in that way. Okay, all the time, see, give importance to the Surya. So, how much you are giving importance to the Chandra, the same importance have to give for the Surya also. This will give the energy to your mind, Chandra, and the Surya will give energy to your life force. Okay. Now let's move into the Pancham. Tithi is the Dasami, followed by the Ekadashi. Nakshatra is the Hasta, followed by the Chitra. Yoga is the Saubhagya, followed by the Shobhana. Karana is the Vishti, followed by the Bhava. Weekdays are Ravivara, Paksha is the Krishna Paksha. Okay. Now let's move into the second section. Now in last few classes we are learning about the Chadradipati. That means the fourth lord in any one of the 12 rashis. Okay. So till 8 houses we saw in the last week. We'll revise that on in a few minutes. Then we'll moving into our usual lessons. Okay. We already know what is the fourth house is for. Anybody remember what is the fourth house is for? No? Everybody can hear me, right? Everyone is silent. I feel that you wouldn't hear me.
Basic education.
Okay, basic education.
Sukhasthana.
Sukhasthana.
Land.
Sukhasthana also.
Mothers.
Matrasthana. Mothers. So, okay. Mostly your social life, if you buy any asset can belong to real estate or your vehicles, all comes under the fourth house. Anyone's happiness is defined in the fourth house itself. Somebody was telling, I don't know what is my happiness. Go and see in your fourth house. The fourth house and the fourth lord. And the grahas in the fourth house. Totally, it will give you what kind of the happiness you will get in this lifetime. Okay. Now, if you are not able to remember all the significance of the fourth house, how you can easily remember the home, education, that is your basic education, and the conveyance. Okay, whatever the conveyance means, what kind of vehicles I am going to blessed with. Okay. Fourth lord in first house. Okay. One more thing, one important thing about the fourth lord is fourth house is the Kendra. So that means the Kendra Lord was sitting in the different houses, 1 to 12 houses. That itself giving the auspiciousness. Okay. Fourth Lord in the first house. The first house is the Jataka himself, the own personality, the persona image of the Jataka. That is good for very good for education field, and definitely this his or her mother is gentle, and this individual is outspoken, clever, and intelligent. Now, you can remember the additional points for this slide. Fourth lord in the second house. Second house is the Dhanasthana. When the fourth lord, Kendra lord, was sitting in the second house, increase of spaciousness. And these peoples are logically and practically living in their life. Mostly they are involved in the home-based business. Okay. Now let's getting into the fourth lord in the third house. Third house is the Dhairyasthana. Whatever you want to do in your life, anything, if you want to do the education, living a normal life, or you want to achieve anything in the goal in your life, or you are going to do a business, whatever you are doing in your life, even if you are doing the basic education, graduation, whatever it is, you need one thing in common. That is your courage. That is defined by the third house. Then the Kendra Lord was one of the Kendra Lord was sitting in the third house. Means these peoples are definitely led by an exam. They are very good. Retain their self-earned wealth. This is wonderful for maintaining the wealth. And the fourth lord in the fourth house. That means the Kendra lord in its own house itself. Fourth house, we already know about. It represents home, happiness, mother, real estate, vehicle, harmony, everything. So that lord was sitting in his own house. This implies the strong personality of the individual. They are very helpful and very social towards. They are very social, and definitely they will have all kind of the domestic luxuries like a good house, conveyance, etc. And fourth lord in the fifth house, this very special one. Why? Fourth lord is the Kendra lord, and fifth house is the Trikona house. Now, the Kendra lord was sitting in the Trikona house. Increase of spaciousness. This person automatically will have the luck with the speculation. They can have an ability to have the self-made wealth, and definitely they will have. In simple words, they have the comfortable life. Fourth lord in the fifth house, it's super good. Now, the fourth lord in the sixth house. Kendra lord was sitting in the sixth house. Means sixth house we already know. Roga, Rena, Ritu. That means the health, the debt, and enemies. Whatever you feel the competitive field in the world, that is represented by the sixth house. How successful you can be defined by the sixth house. Now, the Kendra lord was sitting in the sixth house. It's good for you or not? Obviously, it is good. But the only one thing is common. Only one thing is a side effect is you most of the time you away from your mother. That's a one demerit of this. Definitely, the fourth lord in the sixth house means these people are very successful in their life. Now, fourth lord in the seventh house. This is bhava for the fourth house. Now, the Kendra lord was in the seventh house. Yeah, we finished with it. Okay. Kendra lord in the seventh house. The seventh house is the opposite person. Whoever it is opposite in front of you. Can be a person, it can be a question, it can be a doubt. Whichever it is comes in front of you. Whichever it comes in oppose in front of you. That considered as the seventh house. Gifts also seventh house. So when the Kendra lord was sitting in a seventh house, is good or not? It's definitely good. These peoples are definitely will have the strong educational foundation. Okay, now fourth lord in the eighth house. Eighth house is for complete transformation. You are one person and last day and other day, and you are completely transformed into a new person. Then that kind of a thing can only be done by the eighth house. Eighth house lord, eighth house dasha buddhi anta. Then the core vitality transformation, it's a house of the mystery. The eighth house is totally. Your longevity is also represented by the eighth house. Any kind of an accident, emergency represented by the eighth house. Now, the Kendra Lord was sitting in the eighth house. These people are simply, you can say, constant seeker. Because the Kendra Lord was sitting in the mysterious house. He can't sit just like that. He's a constant seeker of the truth. It's not a simple word, it is a very strong word. When the people seeking for the truth, they are trying to find out. These people are literally seekers. They can't sit in one, live a normal life. Okay, they are definitely the seeker of the truth. Okay. Now, when the fourth lord is sitting in the eighth house, one important thing was they definitely have the foreign related stuff. It can be an education, it can be a profession, it can be exact foreign settlement also. When the fourth and eighth was related, foreign settlement, foreign education, foreign profession is somewhat there. It comes into their life. Okay, now coming into our lessons. Fourth Lord in the ninth house. We already know about the fourth house. What is the fourth house is for? Home, happiness, any kind of the real estate or assets, your vehicles comes under the fourth house. Now the ninth house is for your fortune. Yes, some people will say, I have the fortune in my life. I have this kind of the fortune in my life. Any kind of the fortune, it's not a defined fortune. Any kind of the fortune in your life defined by the ninth house. Philosophy, higher education, religious rites, rituals, all comes under the ninth house. Anything you involved with the cultural things, tradition was involved, conventional things was involved, ninth house signified. Your father, Guru, signified by the ninth house. So now the Kendra Lord was sitting in the ninth house. Anybody tell me what is the special relationship between the fourth and the ninth?
Mom
Okay, I
and
will
dad.
give you. What is it? Mom and dad.
Mom
Yes.
and dad.
Awesome. Mom and dad. Okay, there is also one more relation. What is that? This is father, mother. Fourth house is mother. Ninth house is father. Awesome. There is one more thing. Now, fourth house is the Kendra house, and the ninth house is. Everybody forgot the basic?
Bhagyasthan.
No. Telling about the Kendra.
Trikona.
Trigona. There is another word of this. The Kendra Lord was sitting in the Trikona house. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that gives the auspiciousness to the Jataka? Obviously, yes. Okay. The fortunate means, what is the fortunate means here? The Jataka, the individual should not face any struggle in life. What a luckiest person, right? That kind of the fortunate this Jataka will put in his or her life. Okay. The mother can be a mother will be definitely very successful or very caring mother. There is a good relationship between the Jataka and the mother. When the fourth lord was sitting in the ninth house means they demonstrate the wisdom. The ninth house is also explicitly telling the what kind of the wisdom you have. Why the wisdom was related here? Because ninth house is also for the guru. The maturity is also defined and demonstrated in the ninth house. Okay. And inbuilt, they are blessed with the gift of the being so popular and social. Okay. Definitely, because when the Kendra house was sitting in a auspicious house, the sense of humor comes as a side effect. Okay. They definitely will have the good sense of humor. And these are the peoples who inherit the properties from the father's side. A number of peoples may say, there is a problem with my father's side and I can't get the father's property. No, when the Dasha Buddhi was coming and the planets are aligned properly and your fourth lord in the ninth house, your father's property will come to you no matter what. Okay? Anybody was having fourth lord in ninth house? Yes, no? Fourth lord in ninth house, you understand, right? Imagine a situation. Let's have an example. Rishabha Lagna. Who's my fourth lord here?
Surya.
Simha, right? Surya is my fourth lord. Okay, Simha Rasi. Surya is the owner. Then the sun becomes the fourth lord. Now the fourth lord was sitting in where?
Ninth.
Makara Rasi. Yes or no?
Makara. Makara. Yeah.
So now the sun was sitting in the ninth house. So this is the ninth house. That fourth lord in ninth house means this one only. The lord who's for the Rishabha Lagna, fourth lord becomes the sun. The sun was sitting in the ninth house. That is the fourth lord in the ninth house. Okay. Now, when you see the fourth lord in the ninth house, you may see my fourth lord in ninth house, but there can be a situation will come Vanita, I'm not fortunate and I may be fortunate, but I have a struggle in my life. Then you have to see what are the any other grahas was present here. Still, if there is no graha, only sun was present, but I still have a struggle in my life. Then you have to see, is there any other grahas aspecting the fourth house of? Okay, is that clear here until?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's moving into fourth lord in the 10th house. Now we know about the fourth house, that is for your home, asset, and all kind of the vehicles. Your mother, happiness, and harmony comes under the fourth house. Now the tenth house is for your career, your image, your professional life, and importantly, what world sees you. So how what kind of the person you are. You may be a greater person inside you, but how the other people sees you, how the world sees you, that's defined in the 10th house. Okay, what is important here? There is a greater importance here. Fourth lord is the Kendra lord, and the 10th house is what?
1, 4, 7, 10. Again, Kendra, right?
Mm. Kendra
Kendra.
lord is sitting in one of the other Kendra. Okay, now here, these people are very, very unique and having a wonderful professional expert. If they touch any one of the work, if they are involved in any of the professional work, they show their expertise in no matter what. Whatever they are, whichever profession they are in, they become very much expert in that area. You can't dispense them just like that. You can't remove any one of the project. Imagine a situation you have a Jataka who's both Lord in the 10th house, and this guy was involved in any of the project, and you can't easily dispense. You are, in other words, you have to be dependent for that person. These people have that ability because they have holding too much expert in that area. You can't do that work without them. Okay, and one wonderful thing about the fourth house is also for the home, and the 10th house is for the career. And these are the wonderful peoples. They can able to handle the balance between the home and the profession. They are very well balanced. They know how to balance. What time they have to spend in home, what time they have to spend in the profession. They know very well. Uh, they are the great expert in work life balance. Okay, and they are also very good with the outside world. If they want to handle any kind of the customer or client, these people are very good. They know how to touch the people's heart. They know how to communicate with the other people's. In other words, they know how to express whatever they want to tell, they whatever they want to achieve. These people are they are very expert in that area. These are the people who can able to create a history in that field. Okay? Possibly there is a political success if they are involved in the political, and the political success is inevitable. They definitely have to be success in that area. And in one simple word, if you want to remember, fourth lord in the 10th house is good in their success. The professionally they are expert, and whichever they involved in any one of profession, they will be well versed. Okay. Anybody having fourth lord in 10th house?
Sorry, I didn't notice earlier. I have a chart where fourth lord is in the 9th house.
Oh, okay. Tell me which. Okay. What is the lagna?
Kataka Lagna.
Hmm.
Venus is in Meena.
This is your fourth lord. Venus in the Meena. Okay.
Yeah.
And which is matched with him, which is not.
Um, I think second, third, yes.
Third,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, second, yes, third, yes. Um, Social and popular, not too sure about that.
Mm.
Good sense of humor, also not so sure. Fourth one, okay.
Hmm. This is not sure. This is also not sure.
Yeah.
And what about the property from father's side?
Yes.
Yes. And this one, fortunate, no struggle in life.
Mm, I would say 50-50 there.
Okay, it's not complete yet. It's not complete. It's a neutral. Okay. And any graha is here?
Where, oh, yeah, there nothing.
Okay. Any graha in Lagna?
No,
No graha. Is ninth house of Venus is accompanied by anybody?
only Venus.
Only Venus. And Venus was aspecting nobody. Is any graha aspecting this ninth house?
Let me check. Okay, I will give you the full chart. So Kuja is in Mesha,
Give me a second. Joyce and Mesha. Okay.
Shani Rahu in yeah, there, second house.
In Mesha itself.
No, Kuja alone in the 10th house, Shani
Hmm.
Rahu in the 11th house,
Shani Rahu. Okay.
Guru in the 12th house,
Jupiter in the 12th house. Okay.
Ketu in 5th house,
Ketu. Mhm.
Chandra in 7th,
Chandra in 7.
Ravi and Buddha in 8th.
Okay. And the fortunate no struggle in life. Okay. When the Saturn and Rahu combination comes, this will give you a different story altogether. Even though it was in the 11th house, the fortunate may not come. Possibly the neutral possibility because of this combination, maybe, even though it was in the 11th house. You may tell, okay, that is 11th house. It's a good house only, right? Then, but this combination is a very powerful combination. Powerful in the sense, not in a good way. It will give you the challenging in your life. It will give you the number of obstacles in your life. So the
Okay.
fortunate will be removed by this. Okay, then the other factors also, which we got to discuss now. Okay, then what is the sense of humor? Why it was not? Fourth house is the Venus. Venus was here. Um, you are not knowing about the social and popular, or they are not social and popular. Because everything was same
Not
yesterday.
not very. I mean,
Or because of the
lot of friends groups are there. If you mean that is social,
okay,
and yeah, lot of friends groups. Yeah, that way I think he is social. Yeah,
okay, then the sense of humor.
not very talkative, so that's why I said not so much. Yeah,
I see, I see, I see.
yeah,
Vanita,
not.
I also have fourth lord in ninth house.
You also have fourth lord in ninth house.
Yeah, I just realized it.
Okay, give me a second.
I just remembered.
You will finish with this one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
sense of humor. Then, because when the Venus was in the ninth house, right? These people have definitely the good sense of humor. Um, with the,
Maybe because not very talkative, so we cannot recognize that. But probably nature,
Yeah.
by nature, may have humor
See, it is
in them.
not just fourth lord in ninth house. 11th lord is also in the ninth house, right? So maybe we
oh,
should also check that out.
correct. Correct. And the Jupiter is also in the 12th house. And mostly when the Kadaka Lagna people, these people are in the water element, literally, they are mostly emotional in nature, but their possibility of communication is really good. The Buddha was with the sun. With the sun, Buddha was combust or no?
Okay. That I am not sure. I don't have the details at the moment.
Okay, when the peoples were the Kadakalagna peoples, if you next to them, you will feel really warm. It's like a warm energy next to them, but they are completely emotional.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Let's getting into here. Okay, for the Kadakalagna people, they have, even though they are in the water element, born in the water element, and but the dehydration level will be really high for them. They have to manage themselves by drinking proper water. It should not be
They don't. He doesn't drink water only. Always complaint comes on that aspect.
drinking water or no?
Doesn't drink water.
Yeah, because of the Kadakalagna, if you watch this Kadakalagna people, they have this one peculiar character. They most of them then take the water properly. But if they from the childhood, if they habituate with the proper intaking of the water level will be correct for them. Because of even though they born in the water element, that is the contradict of the nature. Even though you born on the water element Rashi, your body is dehydrated very easy because of the nervous system, because of the lagna which you born on. Your body have the tendency to dehydrate very easily, so that you have to be hydrated often. You make it as a life habit which you can take the liquid as much as you can, not too much, not too less. It's in always neutral. Say about the ceremonies horoscope. Which Kanya Lagna ceremony? I
Yeah,
forgot.
Kanya Lagna. And
The
Guru
fourth
in the
lord is a
ninth house.
Jupiter.
Yeah,
Jupiter was in the Rishabha, correct?
correct.
Okay, which one is good, which one is not?
Um, Successful and caring mother, that's true. Wisdom, I don't know.
One
Maybe
second.
I.
Tell me, successful and caring mother, yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Demonstrate wisdom and maturity.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not wise. I
You
don't
are,
know.
okay. Then we are giving. Okay. Blessed
The
with,
rest are not there.
what is that? Yes, no?
No, the rest are no.
Rest of.
I think
Yes.
you have good sense of humor too,
Yeah.
Okay. Saying you don't know your wisdom. That's a joke.
Okay.
Okay. We consider this one. We are considering your horoscope. We are learning about your horoscope. We consider you are having a good sense of humor.
Okay.
Okay. The property from the father side is not your
I
hand.
know that is not there yet.
Okay, wait a second. Sure. Jupiter was in a good house only. Right?
See, on the eighth house I have Ketu.
Eighth house. Ketu
Ketu
alone.
and Moon.
Ketu and moon won't stop you to get the property. The Ketu and moon will do the different job altogether.
Yeah.
What is that then? Fourth one is Jupiter. Jupiter is alone or it comes.
Alone.
It is the same for you also, right? It is fourth lord is also seventh lord.
Fourth lord is also seventh lord.
Also
Yeah.
seventh lord. Yes. 4 and the second. Yeah. Fourth lord is also the seventh lord. Give me a second. Yeah. Which one is matching for you? Because the fourth lord is also in the no. No. This
You
one.
should look at seventh lord in the ninth house.
Correct. Yeah, I missed it. Sorry. Okay, what about this one? The fortunate, no struggle in life. If this is yes or no?
No. I'm not fortunate. I've been through a lot.
Been through a lot of things. One is Rahu. Rahu is in the second. Correct? Rahu only or a combined with anybody?
Only Rahu. In 11th, I have Sun, Venus. Okay, basically Sun, the rest are all combust. Sun, Venus, Saturn, Mercury.
Okay, you remember the order? Which order it will come? Sun, Venus, Mercury. It comes in the same order?
Oh, you mean the degree wise?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
Okay, where is your Mars? Mars is also here.
Mars is in Simha.
In the 12th house.
Correct. It's basically Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Venus.
Mercury, Saturn, Venus.
Yeah.
So Sun towards Mercury, Mercury towards Saturn, Saturn towards Venus. Sun, Mercury, Sun considered Mercury as an enemy only. So we don't need to. I didn't see the property from the father said it will come for so. Why?
See, for corner lagnas, I think the 7th house is Badhaka.
Correct.
Oh, 7th house is father. Correct. Yeah. 7th house is Badhaka. So the Badhakadipati was sitting in the 9th house. That's why you are getting the option.
Mm.
Oh, that's why the struggle comes. Oh, okay. And why the property is not coming? Because, okay, you are not receiving property from your father, or you are getting there is a struggle or obstacle getting a property from your father.
I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't. You are not coming to that phase.
No, not yet.
See, you also didn't find an answer here. You will keep that in mind. We'll tell that later. Anybody who's having 4th lord in 9th house, but most every time whenever CA or horoscope ceremony, I thought to find out this miracle combination. Every time I thought, okay, we'll do it that later, we'll do it that later. Definitely we'll do it that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Getting into the 4th lord in the 10th house. 10th house is for your, oh, that's all we'll see, right? Okay, that's where we finish that one. Okay, 4th lord in the 11th house. Okay, here is a tricky here. Why? Not the home, happiness, mother, asset, everything. 11th house is for you all kind of the fulfillment of your desires. You may have a number of desires in your life. Everything was defined in the 11th house. Profits, gains, cash flow. Simply, it's a labhastha. Your wealth was defined in the 11th house only. Elder sibling was defined in the 11th house only. Now, the 4th lord, that is the Kendra lord, was sitting in the 11th house. It's a kind, when we see this one, it's a good one only, right? 4th lord, Kendra lord is also good. 11th house is an auspicious house. The Kendra lord was sitting in the 11th house. What is the big deal here, right? Okay, now let's see this. Now let's see the Kanni Lagna also. Kanni Lagna only. Who's the 4th lord here? Jupiter is the 4th lord, yes, no?
Jupiter.
Okay, Jupiter is the 4th lord. Now this is the 4th house. And which one is becomes the 11th house?
Kataka.
Kadaka Rasi, right? Now the 4th lord, who's Jupiter, Jupiter was sitting in the Kadaka Rasi. Now here is the count from the 4th to 11th. How many houses it will come? Count from here. Now in the facade, it looks like
8.
beautiful, right? Yes, 8th house. From here to here, it becomes an 8. That's why they become very socially low profile. When we see as a facade, Kendra Lord was sitting in 11th house. When we read like that itself, it's him the greatest hype, right? But for the 4th Lord, 4th house, the 11th house becomes the 8th house. So most of the time they are modest in nature. They don't show that own nature. They don't show their own quality. They don't show what is their power in them. Most of the time they're socially low profile. They want to be shown as a low profile, even though they feel like they want to show themselves. They want to express to the world what they are. There was a time one of my there mostly the yoga practitioners I see, one of them I'm mentioning here. And she's studying Ayurveda. And his guru was somebody else. And she wanted to be exactly imitate as her guru. As her guru was living in a low profile life. She wants that. That's why she's living that. But this girl want to be like her guru, but in true self for her want to show to the world how she is beautiful, how talented she was, and how she made herself. And want to show most of the thing to the world, but she closed herself and to express to the world as the low profile to the entire world. When the fourth lord in the 11th house makes you to do that, they are socially low profile. They don't want to express themselves. They don't want to project their image also. They literally, they want, when you enter into the room, they will sit in the corner. They don't want to be their presence also. Just they're just like that. But they have a wonderful, strong educational foundation. Why? Because the Kendra Lord was sitting in the 11th house. There is no disturbance or struggle in their education. Because of the 11th house, the maturity of their own mature. They speak beyond their age. Mostly they assume higher responsibility and position, but it also depends upon but most all the points here depends upon which graha associated, but with the 11th house. Now what we are seeing one happy scenario, that is the fourth lord alone was sitting in the 11th house without the malefic aspect. That is what we are seeing. But in addition to that, when the malefic planet was aspecting the 11th house, and additionally there are the grahas in the 11th house, combination of that grahas, this point may differ. Okay, you may not be socially low profile, you may express very freely. Then you may ask, Vanita, you already said 4th lord in 11th house, they are socially low profile. But I'm living in a high profile life. How is that possible? Maybe you are aspected by the Venus, or you may be aspected by the Rahu. You don't want to live as a low profile life. If you have or aspected by the Mercury, want to express yourself to the world, that's totally possible. Okay. Fourth lord in the 11th house. Anybody having fourth lord in 11th house? Moving into fourth lord in the 12th house. I'm going a little bit fast because I felt that you know the pattern of this study, right? Fourth lord in 12th house, fourth lord in 11th house. You already know what is the pattern we are following. Okay, let me take this one. Okay, 12th house, we know it is for the moksha sthana, for the liberation, detachment, expenditure, displacement, imprisonment, everything comes under the 12th house. It's for the bed pleasures. That is also 12th house. Now, the Kendra Lord was sitting in the 12th house, which is the hidden house, that is Dusthana also. Kendra Lord in the Dusthana. Okay. Now, 4th house is for the home. 4th house is for your family. For these people, family comes first. Then only the profession. Family first, then only the profession. This kind of people you will see very rarely, right? But when the fourth lord in the 12th house means family first, they don't consider the profession as the first priority. It doesn't mean they are not doing the profession. They will be very good in the profession, but in whichever way, family is the first priority for them. Okay, when it comes into the spending, they spend without hesitation. There is no one can put a hold for them. No one can stop them also. But inside also there is no hesitation for them. If they want to spend the money, because the 12th house is for the expenditures. They spend without hesitation. There is no hesitation in them. If there was any social events was happening, they definitely will support that. Okay, these people are backbenchers, for sure backbenchers. Okay, but it doesn't mean they are not intelligent. They didn't know anything in the world. They are very good intelligent. They know what they are doing, but they love to be sit in the backbenchers, and they are unsung heroes, obviously. Okay, and very important here, highly detached. When the fourth lord in the 12th house, these peoples are highly detached. You can't even imagine how much they are detached. What does that mean? Even if they are loved to their profession, even they are where they consider the family is the first spot, but they're detached. But they give the priority to the family. They love the profession, but they detached from the profession. They whatever they think they like, they love, they detach from them. You may think that how is it possible, right? But when the fourth lord in the 12th house means they are highly detached, even though the other peoples were think like they're emotionally bonded, they can't live without it, they can't live without that. But when the fourth lord sitting in the 12th house means the detachment is highly possible. You can't even imagine how much they are detached. Okay. Okay. When the highly detachment comes, it's followed by the contentment. Okay, they are very much contented also. They don't feel okay. My friends or my family was having that. My friends were having this, and the other peoples in the world was having this many, and I didn't have that. They don't feel like that. They are content whatever they are having. Okay, this is a wonderful quality for when the fourth lord in the 12th house. Okay, anybody having fourth lord in 12th house?
I have an example, Vanita.
Hmm.
Kanya Lagna,
Kanya Lagna,
Jupiter in the 12th house,
Jupiter in 12th house.
along with Mercury.
Mercury. Okay, from here. Okay, which one is exactly correct? Which one is?
First 3 points are correct.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, all are correct, actually.
Okay, all are correct. Definitely, this one won't mismatch.
Hmm.
Then you may ask, Vanita, there was a Jupiter, there was a Mercury, and how come they are backbenchers? Because Jupiter was sitting in the hidden houses. They are definitely backbenchers only. And the
Hmm.
Mercury, even though they have the wonderful communication, when they love to be hidden, but
Correct.
it doesn't mean they didn't have an intelligence. They possess the intelligence. No one can achieve that kind of an intelligence,
Hmm.
but they love to be like that. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, anybody having fourth lord in 12th house? Okay, I will give you one scenario, and you tell me if that is correct. Okay, now this is Tula Lagna. Okay, who's the fourth lord here?
Saturn.
Saturn. From the Saturn was in 12th house. Okay, now it is retrograde. Yeah. This thing is possible or yes, no? The toughest question. Okay, don't think because it was the retrograde, don't think it was all wrong. No, it will be correct, more than correct, you would say. What is a
Hey,
retrograde?
it's your horoscope.
Exactly. And along with the Mars.
Hmm.
And the all 5 points will count as the book. I'm a backbencher, obviously. All my
Hmm.
college days, I'm the backbenchers. And it doesn't mean I didn't study, I study very well. And even if I study on a very next day, also tomorrow is my exam, I will score very well. And that is highly possible. I don't know why. Most of the time, all the dates, I have the backbenches. And for that reason, my entire department don't feel the backbenches are stupid because we showed that. me and my friend only sitting in the back bench, and it was wonderful days. And I spent without hesitation. It's completely true. For me, family comes first. Then I love my profession at all cost, but most of the time, my family is the first preference for me. And I support the social events, obviously, yes. And highly detached, and you can't even imagine how much I detached. Yes. Ignorant, obviously, yes. And it's all comes. And there is a bigger story behind this Mars and the retrograde Saturn. When the time comes, I will tell you this is the greater story. You will definitely learn in a very greater detail. This is the very bad combination. I will tell you, very bad combination. Very bad combination means it doesn't mean it is worse and we can't have this. No, when you're coming into the family life of this planet, this combination won't let you to have that. You will see that when Mars and the Saturn combination with the retrograde, how it will be. You will
Because
learn.
second lord in 12th house.
Yes, second lord in the 12th house, and along with the retrograde Saturn means it won't give you whatever you want in your life. The spend without the hesitation is because of the Saturn in the retrograde position. Because
But you are a good candidate to be a CEO because you will not have greed. So
what is it?
I said you are a good candidate to be a CEO because you're not greedy.
That is possible. That is totally possible. But
Mm.
here the thing is, this combination, whatever the things which you lead in this Earth planet, what are the main things? You need the education. The next
Family.
thing, it's a family, and the family comes with your marriage, and it's the children, and your health comes, and your wealth comes. Okay, when the Mars and the Saturn combination, Mars for the female horoscope, Mars represents your spouse. Okay,
Mm.
so is this possible for this kind of the combination? It exactly affected the marriage. Okay,
Mm.
and the children is then again different combination. So we are not considering that one. But when it comes into the marriage, it won't allow you to do that. And comes into an education, you will definitely study well. Okay? But for the health, it comes ups and downs. But when the Mars, the 12th house means you definitely have one phase in your life, and particularly when the Shiva Dasha was happening, where Shiva Buddhi was happening, Mars Dasha, Mars Buddhi was happening, your health will be affected in a greater sense, and it will literally affect your mind also. Okay, but because your health will be destroyed very slowly, and the Saturn will makes you do that, and the Mars is also in the 12th house, the health will be spoiled, and the wealth you earn the wealth. That's a whole different story. But
Did you finish your Mars Dasha or?
no, this is my Mars Dasha was happening.
Oh, okay. So you should have crossed Saturn, right?
Yes,
Or
I
going to.
finished the Sunny Dasha.
Okay.
That was done, but the Seva Dasha was it's going on. I will tell you the entire Seva Dasha story in one other time. It was a greater life story for me.
Oh, okay.
Health issues during Shani Dasha, you're saying, or because of this combination, Vanita?
This comment, see, whenever in the Gocharam also, if you had the same combination and exactly on the Kandi Rashi, the same combination was happening, it affects in a greater level. And mostly this combination was happen. What kind of the health issues will come? You will have the ulcer. In ulcer means the ulcer can be in any part of your body, in outside your body also, inside your body also, because these two combination makes mostly because this is the cold planet and this is the fire planet. When combined together, they will give you the blisters in your body. It can be anything. It comes in various ways. You have to be in that kind of stage in number of years, not only 1 or 2 years. At least when the this is one point of the story. And another thing, and this is Mars is fire, Saturn is a cold. It increases dryness in your body. Dryness means it may lead to the enzyme level. But if you know that in advance, so this is the combinations you are having, and you these into an enzyme level, you have to be taken care very well about, particularly your skin beheaded properly, exercise properly. You can't live without yoga because you can't live without exercise. Because if you miss any one of the practice, your nervous system will not work properly. I'm telling you, I'm not telling in a greater seriousness. It's a kind of the body system how it was working. This combination will give you greater dryness. This is my own experience that give you dryness in a greater level. That's why you have to look your body, skin, everything in the like how you can take care of the baby. You have to take care of your body just like that. Then the Mars and Saturn combination won't affect your body level. That means you can maintain your health. Okay, but the wealth will come and wealth will go. It's if the wealth was comes in one way and your expenditure will goes in the two ways. That's possible.
Because Dhanadipati is in the Vyayasthana.
Dhanadipati was in the Brayasthana. Exactly. Yes. Okay. Then how it can be mitigated? Once you know this, okay, there was wealth was coming and your expenditures goes as a double, then it's all up to you, right? How you can manage that. If your Mercury was in a good position, see my Mercury was in here along with the Venus. Okay, so my Lagna was the Jupiter was here. Kind of my mathematical skill will be really good. Even then, I will tell you, the spend without the hesitation will come. That kind of the mind will be there. Okay.
My fourth house Lord is right in front of me. Buddhan. I'm watching Buddha. Buddha is visible, right? So I'm actually looking at it. And I can see Chitta Nakshatra and moon right next to each other. I think the moon has moved to Chitra right now.
And I have one wonderful combination also here. There is a moon and the Ketu. You may see that when I say about the moon and the Ketu combination, I was overly excited because I have this. I know what it is doing. It's a personal experience. Most of the time, when I say about the moon and Ketu, it's all my personal experience. I know about it, what is happening, how it will, and that too in the third house, what kind of the damage it will happen in your life. I can tell you literally why, because it's in my house. Okay?
Does it impact your communication?
Yes, it does. Okay, I will tell you how. Even when I'm speaking also, there is a number of thoughts will come to me, and you can't even imagine how many thoughts I'm holding. So when in classes
Same thing
also,
with Saravanan also then.
Yeah. Your brain is faster than your mouth.
my mind will goes first. My mind will goes first, and the word comes will literally very slow. This is I understood when I studying in the college because my mind works really, really fast. My
Do
words
you
come.
have a good handwriting?
No, I didn't. But you can read my handwriting. See, this is all my handwriting I can show. Yeah, but you can read, but it's not good. In my entire family, I'm the only person. My brother also not having the good handwriting. My mother and my sister they are writing very well. You can see, you can all along. But my handwriting, you can read. That's it.
No, in my case, in my school days, my teacher used to pull me and ask me to read while correcting the paper.
I can understand. Yeah, I can understand it. So the same thing goes for me.
So you can correct all your mistakes and read it differently.
I was not that smart. So.
I was just joking.
Yeah. Once my SIVA Dasha was happening, I will tell you my all experience in that because it takes few more years to finish. Maybe in 2-3 years. I will tell you my whole experience all in the 7 years, whatever happened. Because right now it was in the middle. It's a half-baked story. It won't be proper. Okay, now let's coming into any questions in here till now?
No, so your
You
Rahu
were
is in the
referring to
ninth,
Shani
right?
Dasa, right, Vanita?
For me, it's a SIVA Dasha.
Shiva, see, your Rahu in the ninth is, should be good, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
And my son was here.
Mhm.
And most of the time, this combination defines my entire life. And whatever the decision which I'm going to make, always I come with a 2 or 5 decision, and I didn't have an idea which one I have to choose. In every time, not in a one single day, I come with only one single decision.
Yeah, but the good thing is you will not be short of funds.
That is also kind of a curse because you once okay, the moon and the Ketu combination only solution is you have to be focused on one thing. But for me, it's a multi-dimensional task because my Rashi is a Dhanur Rashi. And again, these people are multitask experts. If I do one thing, I can able to parallel doing other thing also. Is that helping me? No, it's not. It's distracting my focus. It's I taking my energy altogether, consuming my energy. At the end of the day, there is no progress. But it is going to help others. Obviously, yes, definitely help others. And okay, let's coming into my communication. When it's most of the time, if maybe because of my meditation helps me a lot, so at least the opposite person can understand whatever I'm. But in my earlier days, I speak really fast, means you can't even understand one single word, even though if you know Tamil very well.
Mhm.
Maybe my meditation helps a lot. It slow down my brain process at least. It makes my brain thinking and the words comes into one line. But still, I'm still struggling. I can't say I achieved that point. I'm still struggling. One point in time, if the thought process comes so fast, and I couldn't even utter a single word. That times mostly I'm still struggling with that. Still like then my battery is going. Okay, I finish it very quickly. Okay, I will tell you about my story. That when we read about my horoscope, I will tell you every story. It's the greatest episode. You can learn for 12 weeks also. It's coming into the
Maybe next
horoscope.
we will see yours.
Yes, we'll see that definitely. Okay, coming into the horoscope. This is for Vasanti. Okay, we'll read this person. Okay. Lagna is the Karka, Rashi is the moon. Lagnadipati is the moon, Karka Rashi. And the Kendra and the Trikona, we already know about it. Graha combination also we went through. These are the primary steps you have to read at least before seeing the horoscope. That will give you a base of how to process your ideas. Okay. The Karka Lagna peoples, mostly these peoples are emotional in nature. Let's come into here. And we saw about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one thing about the first number and second number is this is the birth chart number, and the fourth number is the Kala Purusha number. Okay? Now we are going to see the seventh house. Last week, sixth house till sixth house we finished. Now it is a seventh house. The seventh house Lord is a Saturn. Okay, here the Lagna is the Karka Lagna. Who's the seventh house? This is the seventh house, right? The 7, 10 means seventh house for the birth chart. 10th house is the Kala Purusha. So there is the connection between the 7 and the 10. When the seventh is represent your partners, your business partners, your spouse, your customers, client. In literally how you can imagine anything, it's in front of you. It can be any questions, it can be any issues, it can be anything which is in front of any problems also. It's in front of you are going to face that, right? Whichever you are trying to face, that becomes your seventh house. Now the seventh lord is the Saturn. Vasanthi is not here. Actually, I have few more questions for her because when the seventh lord is the Saturn, and I am seeing the combination of the retrograde Saturn and the Mars, but I heard from her she had a yearly marriage. But when this combination was coming, the yearly marriage is not good. That's what I understood.
She's not
I
in the class, I believe.
Yeah, she's not in the class. Yeah, it would be really better when she was when she is in the class. Okay, let's okay. We'll move on with this. It's mentioned about your spousal who were the partners in front of. But when we see here, there is no graha in the seventh house, so we have to consider the owner. The owner is a Saturn. The Saturn is retrograde. So the Saturn is in one house only. Whenever the Saturn retrograde comes, don't consider it as too much, but the energy is too much. The Saturn's energy, the karma of the energy which is coming along with you to this birth time, it's too much. That means you are coming with that karma only. So the Saturn in the eighth house, the Lord, he is also the Lord of the seventh and the eighth house. Now, what are the things we have to consider? How the spouse will be, what the quality of the marriage life will be, how the business and the partners will be, kind of the thing. Mostly, whatever anything you face in the life, it's considered in the seventh house. When you see there was no planet, means mostly when it comes into the spouse, when it comes into the partnership, uh, seventh house is a Saturn house. The partnership is not highly recommended because even though you may attached, we joined with somebody and you enter into a partnership, it won't be last long. The receiving of the gift is possible, but it will stay with you for a very long time. Okay? Or otherwise, you can take it as you may receive the gifts once in a while. And the seventh house is also for the presentation of the perfume fragrance. This is the possibility. Travel and journey, the lawsuits, legal dispute, conflicts. But when there was no graha in the seventh house, you who may not involved in the lawsuits or legal disputes or conflicts. But whenever this was also happening, you also have to see the third house in any of the horoscope along with the Mars energy, so that the lawsuits and the legal disputes you can come into a conclusion. But when you see the seventh house was an empty, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, this is also representation of the seventh house. It's also representation of the foreign travels and the foreign journeys. You may frequent travel to that foreign, or you may not. Okay. But when I heard from Asakti, I guess she's frequent to the foreign. But okay, in this horoscope, let's comment it here. Is any graha aspecting the seventh house? Anyone can say? Okay, we'll see this here. Okay, this is the ascendant. Arka is an ascendant. And the seventh house we are looking. In this house, any graha was aspecting? Okay, there was one more thing I have to say. So the seventh house is also represent about the foreign journey or foreign travel. But if there was no graha, we should not say you are not going to foreign, you are not, there is no journey, foreign journey in your life. You can't. Why? Because you have to see the other houses also. 12th house, what is 12th? 12th house also. To understand the one can do the foreign travel and the grahas and the owners of the ninth house and the aspect of the ninth and the 12th house. That concludes one specific question. But for this one, you can't derive the answer. That's it. You understand this one point, right? So even if there was no graha in it, you can't even find an answer. It doesn't mean come to a conclusion. You have to see the other houses also. Grahas present in that houses, aspect of the houses, the Dasha Buddha happening, combined together, you find an answer. Is that okay? But for this one, the quality of the marriage life, it's not that can be the scale of 1 to 10. Not sure about the quality of the married life. We have to check with her before telling anything. Yeah. It's literally telling about your spouse one, the seventh house. And the Saturn was, if there was no graha, you have to look the owner one. Okay. Anyone want to add points here? This is the horoscope. Now, The Buddhi was Dasha was Venus Dasha, Saturn Buddhi, and Mercury Antar. And this Antar may change, I'm not sure. But this is Dasha Buddhi. Okay. Anybody want to add any other things for the seventh house? This is the Karka Lagna and the Vrikshika Rashi. There are the few things I can say, but I don't know how you guys will take that one. So I'm skipping that part. Once the Vasanthi was coming, we can sometimes when we discuss about the personal horoscope, some of the things cannot be expressed freely. So I'm skipping that part alone. And that way it was involving the seventh house. I should not speak that much frankly. So when we have the sample horoscopes later on, I will tell you what I'm thinking when I see this kind of the horoscope. Okay. Anyone want to add any other things? Yeah. No.
Vinita, would her marriage have been a late marriage because Saturn delays?
Arranged marriage is good.
Late.
When
Marriage.
when this combination was correct, right? When the Mars and the Saturn, why I'm thinking about the Mars and the Saturn combination, anybody can tell? Mars was in the fifth house, Saturn retrograde was in the eighth house. Why I'm thinking about that combination? Why?
Mars in his own house and Saturn in his own house, and Saturn retrograde and Mars is debilitated. Is that why?
Mars debilitated? Why? Why Mars
No.
debilitated?
No, Mars is not debilitated. Moon is
No,
debilitated.
sorry.
Moon debilitated, okay. But there is a connection between the
Sorry.
Mars and Saturn, right? What is that? Mars was in the fifth house. Eighth house was Saturn. What is aspect of the Mars?
Four.
Okay. Mars is aspecting Saturn.
4, 7, 8, right? And now the Saturn was aspecting retrograde Saturn. And this gives me a different idea altogether because the possibilities of the delayed marriage, possibility of delayed marriage is good. That's what I
But
understood.
her marriage will be in her known circle, right? Because seventh lord is in the eighth house.
Seventh lord in eighth house. What is that? Marriage will be?
I mean, she should have known her husband somehow.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, correct. Exactly. There's a retrograde Saturn. This is the karmic relationship. It's not only this life. Maybe this life also they can be known each other for very long time, but there is the karmic relationship. It comes from the different lifetime. So when this
And
connection was
it's
made.
also Viparita Raja Yoga. She should become fortunate or rich after marriage.
Exactly. And this is a wonderful karmic relation. And this is a higher possibility because they are not made in that one lifetime. There comes another time. In order to finish any one of the karmic relationship between them. Yes. Any other thing want to add?
Vinita, please explain Vipreet Raj Yoga in the sense wealth after marriage. How would we, from where would you see that?
See? After marriage?
Wealth after marriage.
So the seventh house lord is also eighth house, right? Now the seventh house, who's the both lords? Both lord is Saturn. Now Saturn was sitting in the eighth house. That's why Sarunan was said it was like after marriage, the ritual comes into it.
Okay.
Any other thing? Okay, you can see this one also. This is the seventh and the eighth combination. It will tell you what is the seventh house. 1, 4, 7, 10, right?
Kendra.
Yeah.
Kendra. Now 6, 8, and 12. Who's there? Who is it?
Those 10.
Dostana. And now the Kendra Lord is also becomes the Dostana Lord. Now the Kendra Lord you can interpret in different ways. The Kendra Lord is sitting in the Dostana, or the Dostana Lord sitting in one of the Dostana. What is that? Viparita Rajyoga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why when they get married, that leads to a richness. The auspiciousness flourished into them. They filled with the richness. It can be. This is the one side of an edge, right? There is also another side of an edge. You may see that there are the people, they get married, after the years of the marriage, they slowly degrade the wealth and they leads into the poor life. That is also possible. Everything is possible. If you get married, after marriage you get rich means the other side is also possible, right? After marriage you may get poor also.
Is it only because of Saturn or any planet will cause that?
Any planets. Okay, imagine a situation now the Saturn was not here. Here, okay, who can say? Because the Saturn is one kind of the interesting house. Why? The two houses was next to each other. The Saturn is sometimes is holding this capability. The seventh and the eighth house, it can be ninth and the 10th house, or the next two houses Lord can be only be the Saturn. If you see any other grahas, at least it is 2 or 4 rashis away from each other. But the moon was only one, sun was only one. When it comes into the Mercury, it is always 2 houses away from each other. Same goes for here, it is 4 houses away from each other. But the Saturn is the only thing. It has this wonderful sitting structure in the universe. Its own houses are next to each other. That's why the Saturn is having that kind of the formation when comes into the horoscope. It's not comes into the other grahas. That was one reason. Imagine if there was a different grahas was sitting in the 7th and the 8th house, the story will be different. Because when the Saturn houses only, we are telling the 7th house Lord was sitting in an 8th house Lord. This is only possible for the Karka Lagna peoples only. No other peoples can get this combination. 7th Lord, 8th house. This combination, yes or no?
Correct.
Yes, right? The same goes for different lagnas, different the 7 and 8 houses will be different. Okay, now let's see this one also. If I have the Mesha Lagna, my 10 and 11 houses are same. One is 7. Okay, same goes for Rishabha Rashi. Rishabha Rashi means here 9 and 10. So the Saturn only having this capability because of the consecutive houses. You got this point, right? What I am trying to tell you.
Right.
Okay. Any other question? The grahas present in here is also telling you different story. Imagine a situation. Now Ketu was sitting here. Okay, now let's hear. Now we are talking about the 7th house. Now imagine a situation. Ketu was sitting here. Now not this horoscope. I'm giving an example. Ketu was sitting here, and then the Rahu will be here. Okay. Now when the Ketu was in the 7th house means it won't help you in your marriage relationship. It won't give you the kind of the quality of the marriage life will be. It was like you married, but you will be always away from each other. We'll meet once in a while, once in a few years, and you will again away from each other. This is possible in the Ketu. Now it goes for various different for various grahas, right? Now, if you see the Mars in the 7th house, it's not good for the marriage life. One or the other way, one people will dominate another. If it was in the male heart, if female can dominate the male, male can dominate the female. Either way, 7th house Mars won't give you the quality of the life. But how they can improve? This is the general answer. When the seventh house Mars was there, some kind of the quality of the marriage life will get affected. But there is also definitely a solution, right? What is that? If your wife or husband was telling you and you are dominating in that particular space, you have to communicate well and understand the point. You have to come into a conclusion. But the seventh house Mars should not come down from its position just like that. You have to put lots and lots of effort to understand and come into a point, or at least you will understand, oh, okay, he's a dominant person, I have to give away. It should not affect my peace. So one or other way, you have to find a solution. So in that way, that's why you may also have heard the seventh and the eighth house should be empty. It should not have any grahas in it. Okay, for the Karka Lagna people, it becomes the Magara and the Kumbha. Now, if the Lagna was different, if it was the Tula Lagna, which one it becomes? It becomes the Mesha and the Rishabha. So either way, what they will tell, the Graha should not be in a 7 and 8. Why? Because of this reason. It tells about your spouse. The 8th house tells about your emergency, accidents, and the transformation. So if any of the Grahas in that, it will tell you what kind of the transformation you will achieve. Anyway, we'll see about the 8th house in the next week. We'll see in greater detail. The 7th house tell you about your spouse. How the spouse will be. If it was an empty, will be super lucky. You no need to worry about that because there was no graha in it. Then you don't need to worry about the quality of your marriage, like of quality of your spouse. Okay. Then you have to consider about the owner. That's why we are giving the warnings about try not to getting into the partnership. Make sure you properly arrange the person or you check very well. What does it mean? You maybe enter into a partnership, but that business it will not be going in a fast as you think. It will be very slow, very delay in process, delay in action. The delay in action can be done by the partners also, or delay in action can be done by you also. So either way, the delayness will be there. That leads to the conflicts. That leads to a bitterness in your life. Okay? So that it's not anyway. The life is not a one line or one day story, right? It goes in day by day how the progress is going, how the growth will. So that defines you. I stop here. Any doubts till now? We will see you all next week.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.